Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, and I'm a pretty happy Donnie B all day, let me tell you that. Why? Because this came in today. Oh yeah, there's two things, and before I open them, I'm going to tell you a little something about why we're opening them. And by the way, in my pocket today, I know I said it's probably too small for me. The KHHI Antic. Also in my pocket is the off-grid off-grid Scorpion. Duh. This thing I said was too small. The KHHI Antic. I want to show you something. It has got an unflawed edge on there, and you see all that coloration, all those little scratches and stuff. The day after, I mean not the day after, but the day I did the video on this knife, right after I did the video on this knife, I was like, well, it's not something I'm going to use all the time, so I might as well just use it to go cut tile because we're redoing the kitchen. And it's stone tile, and I was cutting and separating the tile and dragging this thing across stone. And I probably made maybe 30, 40 cuts with this. And the edge is still 100%. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. In my pocket it went, hasn't left yet. Not so bad. So here's the deal. You have veterans of all kinds of different kinds, right? First of all, only 1% of the U.S. population, I'm talking about just the United States, not the world, only 1% of the U.S. population actually joins the military, right? We join the military. So 99% of the other of the civilization does not join. They don't know what it's like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You have guys like Choir Boys with a Z, Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, right? Scab, go sub to him. Scab is one of the biggest military supporters you'll ever see. He never joined the military. He'll be the first to tell you straight out, I never joined the military, but that guy does more for military than most military people do. So you have the 99% there. So only 1% joins. 1% out of that 1% goes overseas to a combat zone. Only 1%, right? Only 1% of that 1% actually sees combat, right? And then you have 1% of those guys. And you think, okay, well, if you have, seeing combat can mean anything between or around you got shot at. Maybe you had to send a round downrange. Maybe you set up something, a boom. Maybe you had to take somebody down with your hands or put somebody at least back. Some kind of situation where there was some kind of action, right? Only 1% of the 1% do that, right? So and then I say the 1% of those do something special. Tim Kennedy, my man, Army Ranger. See, I am a combat veteran. I am a combat veteran, U.S. Army, right? But I was not a U.S. Army Ranger. And not only was I not a U.S. Army Ranger, but I didn't do half the things. I'm 1% of the 1% of the 1%, but I'm not 1% of that 1%. That's where these guys come in, like Special Forces, which I did get offered a spot to be a rigger for Special Forces. But SF, like your Army Rangers, your Navy SEALs, your combat controllers with the Air Force, or paramilitary, pararescue Air Force guys. You have these special unit guys, right, that go out and do things beyond. Their training goes beyond. Tim Kennedy, my man, love the guy. This guy's probably one of the highest, most decorated Army Rangers of all time, right? So while I'm a combat vet, I'm not the 1% that just took it just a little farther and did what this guy did. I mean, insane. And then when we talk about Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6 has become one of the most well-known military units on the planet. And the reason why is because a guy with the last name of O'Neill, and I'm gonna show you real quick, a SEAL team member, O'Neill, he's the guy who took out bin Laden. And there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, and they say, oh yeah, convenient, they dumped the body. I gotta tell you, before they put the body in the ocean, they took some parts. That's right. There's parts of bin Laden that were kept for 100%. This is who it is, blah, blah, blah. So enough with that. So he is the most famous. His name is Rob O'Neill, the most famous Navy SEAL probably of all time, the most whose name is well known or his action is well known. Taking out Bin Laden was gigantic, and this guy, he's the most modest guy in the world. He's like, look, I just happen to be the guy that turned the corner. I mean, he's saying it could have been anybody. Literally, this wasn't something that he was posted in a position for 16 hours without food or water and having to piss all over himself because he couldn't stand up and he had to have his eye in a scope for in the wind 3 miles away. No, he was walking through. There was other people in the place. It was a suicide mission. They didn't think they were coming out. They thought they were going there to try and get Bin Laden and they were going to die doing it. That's what they thought. But he happened to turn the corner. Boom, he gets him in his sights right away. Boom, gone. No more Bin Laden. Right on, man. And crazy cool guy. Talked to him on the phone. Rob is like, he's a dude's dude, man. He's crazy cool. But one of the things he did, Mr. Rob O'Neill, see that back there, that inside this beautiful case that I set up is my war machine. My original, that's the prototype. That's the original war machine. It says right here, it says never quit, Rob O'Neill. And that's pretty dope. He was holding, I got pictures of him holding my knife like that. And my boys, the Stork brothers, who are just the awesomest people in the world, they had an event where they were hanging out with him and doing stuff for him and just kind of being his right-hand man for this event. And they got to spend a couple days with him. And he loved the war machine. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I mean, better than the K-bar right away. He was like, oh my God. And then so I'm talking to him on the phone, and I was like, hey, man, if you want one. He's like, oh, I need one. So it was more than just one. He also did this for me. He signed it. And now the Stork brothers were telling me, here, being a combat vet, I get a lot of people, just a veteran at all. I get a lot of people that, oh, hey, thank you for your service, thank you for your service, which is really cool. And you don't usually get it from the guy that killed Bin Laden. But the Stork brothers were telling me that he was signing these things, and mine was the only one he put thank you. And I'm pretty sure it's because we talked and he knew he was getting one of these. So that's what came in the mail today, right? And this is Navy SEAL, right? Like you look at Cowboy Sebop. Cowboy Sebop was U.S. Navy. He's a veteran, right? And so it's like he did his training in the Navy because he was U.S. Navy, just like Rob O'Neill, U.S. Navy. And then Rob O'Neill, his training was just like, poof. So you got Cowboy, who's like just a regular sailor. He was a sailor, man. This guy, he was on these massive ships that are freaking awesome. And so he would understand. He would respect what this guy did as far as like the training to get to be a SEAL. He knows more than I do. I know from seeing documentaries or movies and things like that, I can get a grasp on what some of the training is, but I never went to like a Navy basic training. Cowboy did, so he would know. But, being probably closer to these guys, he'd probably have a better idea of what their training actually entails. But, really cool. Rob O'Neill, the man who killed Bin Laden, was absolutely stoked about one of these. I'm going to open these up, and I'm going to show you something special. Okay, so here it is. Oh, now this isn't the signed one because that's still in the case. And here's the thing is, I designed this knife, and I've never held two of them at once. So it's kind of crazy to have two war machines in my hand. Man, they feel so good. But here's the deal. This one right here is mine. And the reason I needed another one is because I'm never using that one again. No, I can't. Right? That one's signed. So this is going to be my new war machine. And I had to because I love this knife, and I use it constantly. I mean, I use this knife a lot, and I didn't think I was going to use it as much as some of the others. And then it turns out this is one of my best survival knives. This thing is awesome. And then this is the one that's going to Mr. Rob. And what makes this one so special is right here. His is the only one in the world that will say SEAL Team 6 right across the bottom of the ricasso. So Rob O'Neill's knife is right here, and this is a knife that he plans on using. He was very, very excited about it because as soon as he held it, I mean, there's pictures of him just like, like, oh yeah, he was loving this. He was loving this. So now that he gets one of his very own to love and play with, he's going to be pretty darn excited. I'll tell you what, for hand forged knife, they did a really, really good job over at the KHHI house making these completely consistent. I mean, a really good job. That's kind of crazy. These are hand hammered, so you'd expect them to be different, but look at this. They're pretty much exact. That is fantastic. They did a great job. So Rob O'Neill, the most famous Navy SEAL now of all time, this is your knife, my brother. I hope you absolutely love it. Get as much use out of this as you can. If you get it bloody, don't worry about it. It wipes right off, and I won't tell if you don't tell. So that's it. Now I get to restart my usage with this one right here. Get to put it back into the use it category because I already started missing that one. But man, these things are just awesome. Just awesome knives. Oh, so I'm gonna be getting this one in the mail. This one's going to my buddy Zach Stork, who is going to connect with Rob and be able to give it to him. So just awesome. KHHI house, KHHI Nepal, fantastic, awesome, wonderful job. These things are just great. Totally stoked. And again, SEAL Team 6, the only one like it in the world. Bada boom, freaking bada bing. And also, don't forget that it does come wrapped in its own leather sheath that is specifically made for this particular knife. There's not a bin of sheaths. They make each sheath for each knife. So it is 100% perfect fit. And man, this is going to be on his belt for a lot of years. All right, so that's it for this. Just wanted to show you Rob O'Neill's knife. Super cool. Again, good job, KHHI house. It's time to get things popping. All right, that's it for me. I am Donnie B all day. Till next knife.